Welcome back. We are taking to the kitchen this morning, and not the WCTV kitchen, but rather Rebecca Weaver's kitchen this morning. She joins us live now with Skype, or via Skype rather. And I think we might have had some like telekinesis this morning because we're both wearing blue. I guess that really means that we miss each other because we're on the same page this morning.
Yes, and that is representative of our emotions. We are blue, that we cannot be in the kitchen together at the same time.
That we are. And you know what? At least we get to have your cooking, even though I can't smell it and taste it.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I wish you were here. It smells so good, but I know you're just going to have to take my word for it.
There we go. And what are we making exactly this morning? I know we talked a little bit about that meal prep, a lot of people being at home and hopefully not snacking, but maybe eating some full-on lunches and dinners.
Right, yeah. And so what we're doing today is we're going to talk about some big batch meal plans, rather, that we can do to really kind of, help people not have to go out as much. And I know it's kind of like, but I want to go out. I know people are probably tired of being cooped up, but obviously to help keep everybody safe, we want people to stay inside. And so today we're going to be looking at some big batch meals that people can make. And so they can, package them up, put them in the refrigerator, have them for extra lunches, extra dinners. If their kids are feeling kind of snackish, they can just tell their kids, go to the refrigerator, pull some out, warm some up. And so that's what we're going to be looking at over the next few Sundays.
And definitely, I think, too, we were talking like at least I find myself that I'm in the habit of, I want a snack, but maybe if you already have that meal prepped, you reach for that instead of having that mindless eating that we tend to do when we're stuck at home, for sure.
Exactly. I know a lot of times, we might come out and emerge from our homes in like a month or two wondering, how we gained those extra 15 or 20 pounds, because most people are like running around their pajamas and sweatpants and workout pants, and all of a sudden we're like, we're not as small as we used to be. So, yeah. And so these meals will definitely help with that. So you bring up a very good point.
All right, let's see exactly how do we make it and what exactly are we making today?
Yes, so we are making a one-pot Cajun Chicken Alfredo today. And what I like about this recipe is it's so super versatile. And so if you don't eat meat, you can substitute it for vegetables. If you wanted to do like a grilled zucchini or sauteed zucchini. If you don't, let's say maybe if you're just a fish eater and you want to substitute shrimp, then you can definitely do that too. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have already sauteed up the meat that we're going to be using in our recipe today. And so we're going to be using some chicken and some sausage. And so you can use a Cajun sausage if you want to, depending on how much like heat or spice you want in the actual dish. If you have young kids at home, you probably don't want a lot of spice. And so we actually use the beef sausage with ours. And so it kind of takes down on the amount of spice. So again, super versatile, or you could just omit the sausage altogether. And then we grilled up our meat with some olive oil and some garlic as well. And so we've already done that. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to take a quart of chicken broth, and then you're going to pour all that into a pan. So you're going to make sure that you have a big enough pan because, again, this is going to be a one-pot dish. And so you're going to pour it all in,
And did your sausage, did you cut it up, or like how exactly are you cooking them? Are you cooking them in its entirety?
Yes, and so what we did is we cooked all of the chicken first. We cut the chicken up into bite-sized pieces, and then we went ahead and sauteed them first, cooked them first. And then once that's cooked, then you go ahead and you add your sausage. Now, to answer your question, we did cut up our sausage, so we cut them in diagonal pieces. And then once your chicken's done, then you go ahead and add your sausage to the pan, and then saute that up. You want to add your garlic last, so that way you don't burn your garlic. And then you'll saute that and bring all that together. And then once it's really come together, then you'll go ahead and you'll add your chicken broth from there. And then what you'll also do is add 2.5 cups of heavy cream, all right? And so your heavy cream is going to give your dish that thickness that you want. Okay. And then so you're going to pour all of that in, and then you can use your favorite pasta. We did a penne pasta, but if you want to do a different one, you can. You can also use the gluten-free version. And I know that they also make lentil pastas as well. So if you want to do that, then you can also. And then so really what you're going to want to do is pour your pasta in. Make
I love that. I wouldn't have thought to do it like that.
Yeah, and so you're going to go ahead and stir all that around, incorporate your pasta down into your sauce. And then we actually, I forgot to tell you that when I seasoned my meat, I went ahead and added my seasonings to my meat. So what I did was I added some sweet heat spice, and I also added some carne asada spice and some smoked paprika. And what that's going to do is give it that Cajun flavor and that really smoky flavor that you want to have. And then so after you add everything to the pan, you are going to go ahead and let it come to a simmer. Once it's come to a simmer, you're going to turn your heat down, cover it up, and then let it cook for about 20 minutes or until your pasta is tender. And then when you're done, you'll have a pasta that looks like this, TV magic. And then so you can top it with fresh parsley if you want to, but we actually used fresh spinach to go ahead and add some additional vegetables. And then we also added some some chopped onion on top of that. And then you can also add your favorite cheese. And so if you wanted to do like a grated parmesan or an Italian blend, then you can also incorporate that into your pot. So about 4 ounces of cheese.
And how long, I can see that the pasta obviously like absorbed all of that liquid, but how long does something like that last, more or less, if you keep it in the fridge or in the freezer, or how would you recommend storing that?
So it really depends on how much your family eats, how many members are in your family. So a pot like this, again, so if you have a plate size about like this, if you have it maybe, once a night for dinner, then if you're just by yourself, honestly, it probably would last you all week. But if you had a family like the size of 4, again, if they had a pot this size, it'll probably last you about 2 nights or some extra lunches. And so as far as how to store it, you're definitely going to want to make sure that it cools all the way down. You don't ever want to store hot food. And then you'll just put it in a Tupperware, make sure that it's closed, and then you go ahead and store it in your refrigerator.
Well, definitely. Thank you, Rebecca, for joining us this morning. We definitely have to try it out. And what I'll do is I'll let you know when I taste it, how it tastes, and then we'll kind of do it like that and get back to each other that way.
Fabulous.
Thanks, Rebecca. Have a good one. Stay safe.